would a 360 deal include work you do in other mediums like acting, other media?
It
Um,
absolutely can. Sorry, was that the end of the question?
no, I was just wondering if yeah, go ahead. I'm not sure I have an answer, but I wonder if it would have to do with how you establish your actual business, you know, like how you set up your own personal LLC or anything like that.
So here's what I know about this. So 360 deal covers all your music related items. However, that it's all in what's included in the deal. I remember watching a movie about the band 30 Seconds from Mars, and and that's like Jared Leto's band, he was negotiating a new contract with his record label, and he was in debt to them like millions of dollars. And the reason why he was in debt to them millions of dollars for it is because he signed a really bad record deal, and he was in the process of signing another one with them. And it was like, because the whole movie is about, like, I think it's called This Is War. The whole movie is about him negotiating this record deal as he's, filming his movies and filming a documentary about it and all this other kind of stuff. But what came up during the course of the movie was the fact that, like, they were actually also trying to say that they owned the rights to the documentary that he was making, because, what record labels feel sometimes is if and the whole purpose actually behind the 360 deal is they're saying that, like, if they're pouring money into you in the ways of marketing and promotion, that all the money, all the ways that you profit from that as an artist, technically they have the right to recoup from that. Because again, they don't know if your record sales are going to cover their expenses. They don't know if your merchandise and touring will actually do it. So they try to just, take a piece of everything that you do to maximize their chances of making their investment back. And now, again, I don't want to make them out to be the complete bad guys, because that sounds like a horrible deal. But the majority of artists, probably they don't make their money back from them, because, a lot of artists don't generate a lot of income. So, at the end of the day, like, I think the record label industry motto was just like, one really successful artist pays for the 100 artists that just are terrible and don't actually generate the profit that they need to. But in this day and age, like, yes, your acting could potentially be at risk or profits from that if that's the way they have the deal set up. I don't think that would be the standard, but it's something that you'd want to be mindful of. They might actually say.
I mean, it's a contract could be anything. So you would obviously need to check with your lawyer and make sure that if you were worried about them encroaching on your acting career, that you include language specifically to prevent that, or make sure that their language doesn't say that in some way. So it's all down to an individual contract, and obviously work it out with your lawyer. And you're smart to think that way, though.
Yeah, 100%. Because it's one of those things I think that's artists would even take exception to. It's just be like, well, they're not going to go that far and taking a cut of this because it's completely unrelated.
I've seen people look at a contract and kind of like infer that. Oh, I don't think they mean that. It's like, no, it's not. They mean what's on the paper. That's it. That's all that matters. They're not going to provide any extra help that you think that they're going to give you marketing help or anything if it's not in the contract. So don't expect anything that's not written in there. That is the deal. If you're looking at a page, everything on that page is what the deal is, and nothing more.
Right. And when you're negotiating deals in general, like with negotiation, like after the terms are kind of in place, like, hey, we're going to pay you X amount of money over this amount of time. Like what takes long in contract negotiations is the wording. So one side is trying to use, like, yes, one type of wording they feel is in their favor, that can be interpreted one way. And the other side is trying to make wording that can be interpreted in a way that they feel is favorable. And the negotiations are back and forth coming up with the wording where both sides feel like, okay, this is fair on both sides. I know what I'm getting from this. I know it's clear. And if it's anything in there it's vague for interpretation, that's where lawsuits come up. So if it's like, hey, I thought that for such and such, this meant this. And then the other side says no, well, then they go into a court and they argue those points. And that's where lawsuits and things come from. So the more specific and clear contracts are and spelled out, the better, because, that's what you want. You want to be as specific as you can in your contracts, because if you leave room for interpretation, it can lead to lawsuits and it can lead to a lot of headaches. And, I don't have to say this, but lawsuits cost a lot of money, not even just for the attorneys, but if you lose, you can wind up losing whatever money they're suing you for, the rights. And then, in some cases too, you might even be responsible for paying for their law defense. So you got to be really careful with that kind of stuff. Thanks for watching. If you're truly serious about building a professional music career, then I recommend learning how to be successful by watching our video, How DIY Musicians Become and Stay Successful. You can find the link for it in the description below. It's filled with great information, and we even give you a free gift for watching. So you really can't go wrong. Anyway, check it out today, and please don't forget to subscribe.